Welcome back to another edition of Knowledge Gumbo Conversations. And leading this conversation is myself, Alicia Thomas. Um, we want to look at and get started on what we're talking about today. But as we start off every conversation with a reminder for you and for me, you are loved, you are smart, you are kind, you are important, you are needed, you are necessary. There are holes in this world and in people's lives that only you can fill. And I just want to throw in, never doubt your value. Keep it close to your heart so that no matter what situation you find yourself in, what other conversations you find yourself in, or no matter what someone speaks over you, you can cancel it out and know that you are important, that you are necessary, that you are needed. As we transition into a new month of February, I want to shout out and say happy birthday to everyone who celebrates birthdays this month, including yours truly. Hoo-hoo. Hopefully you will make the time to celebrate yourself, to relax, to chill, to show yourself some love if your birthday is this month. Even if it's not. The theme for this month that we'll be looking at in conversations as well as in the Knowledge Gumbo newsletter is faith and spiritual leadership. So that is our overarching theme for the month of February. We're going to start out this conversation. I was looking at some research from the PEW Research Center, and it says older Black adults are more religious than younger Black adults, and women are more religious than men. And I wonder not why it is the way it is, but I think a conversation needs to be had about how can we balance it out. Because I know some of the difference between some, not a lot, some between the older and the younger is when you younger, you feel like you have time. you feel like you have time to get it right, to do all you're gonna do, and then you're gonna quote unquote live right. Sometimes it's a rejection because you see people living who profess faith or living hypocritical lives. And you say, I'd rather be on this side and just do what I'm doing than trying to present myself one way on Sunday and live my life differently Monday through Saturday. But I also think that as older adults, what we can do is be open and honest with younger adults. As my pastor used to say, everybody is an ex something. We all got saved, we all got delivered, we've all grown up and matured. We weren't always deeply spiritual or religious as we find ourselves now when we were younger. And even if you didn't have those big swings, or if you found or got into your faith later in life, everybody's an ex something we're not proud of, something that we did, even if it's something as simple as being disobedient to what we know we're supposed to do and we didn't do it. So I believe the conversation that needs to be had is how can we balance it out so that everyone who professes faith, you have the same number of older to younger, and you have the same of women to men. And I think women and men differ, and this is probably going to cause some kind of controversies because I don't see men standing up and taking their rightful place. You want a woman to submit, and you look at submission as that she's beneath you, that everything you say is right, and you don't ever listen to what she has to say. And if she doesn't do it exactly the way you want it, how you want it done, you're not worried about her. I think a lot more women are more religious because they turn to God, because the man or men in their lives are not standing up and doing what they're supposed to do. So women have no choice but to lean on God, especially if they're praying for the man in their life, for him to come to know God. But I also think a lot of that has to do with history, in that we're still carrying over bad habits, bad memories from slavery, from Jim Crow to today, where being a man of the cloth meant that you had automatic respect and automatic authority. There was no one holding you accountable as a man of God. And you use that as a license to take advantage of people, both men and women. And because you take advantage of women, the men don't show up. But I think it's balanced out because those men didn't stand up to hold that man of God accountable. I think we as women have to hold each other accountable, and I believe men need to hold each other accountable. Because you can't cross that aisle to someone else when your stuff is raggedy, when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, when you're not learning and growing what you're supposed to be learning and growing. You can't ask that of a man if you're not doing it yourself. So that, I'm going to leave that right there because I think that's going to be an issue in the conversation later on. If you're watching this later on, please comment below #ReplayGang and let me know. Do you agree or disagree? And if you disagree, tell me why. And please be respectful, because we can disagree without being disagreeable. So let's move on to the next section, because it's time for Speak Your Piece or Save Your Piece, where I give you a situation and we decide or discuss, is this something you speak on, or is this something you release to protect your peace? So let me know in the comments. Someone keeps mispronouncing your name after being corrected. I had experience with this up close and personal. This woman refused to use my name correctly. I originally think it's because she thought I was interested in her husband, who undoubtedly kind of fits in this situation as he was a pastor. And I could have told her if she would have asked me that in order for me to even consider marrying a man of God, knowing what I know and having served in church all my life, I would have had to have a burning bush experience. God would have had to tell me to take off my shoes. You are standing on holy ground, and this is the man I have for you. But I was still working and serving, and she purposely kept mispronouncing my name. And I just let it go because your insecurity is not my inconvenience. So I let it go. And because I didn't, now don't get me wrong, I can be petty. I'm working on it. I'm much better than I used to be. But it wasn't worth my peace. And because I didn't respond back with her to her negative energy with negative energy, the people around me started correcting her until she had no choice but to finally say my name the way it was supposed to be said. Because I find as I get older, I am more protective of my peace. And I would rather for you to be upset over there than me to be upset inside myself. So for me, after they've been corrected one, maybe two times, I just let it go because it's a personal problem at that point. It doesn't have anything to do with me. And I let it go. So as we are kind of rounding out this, I was thinking about something I could share to round out this thing, but I find myself asking, am I going to be able to keep doing these lives? Because me and my dad are going to be hitting the road in an RV. And I don't know what streaming is going to be like. I don't know what the internet is going to be like for a while until we kind of get it tuned in. I get quite a few views on replay, not a whole lot of people showing up live. So I'm wondering, should I just pre-record these and post them? Or does it make a sense to still try to go live once we get our internet system dialed in while we're on the road? So that's something I'm trying to learn. I'm watching different videos and of different van lifers and people who do RV stuff because a lot of them don't really live stream. They just post videos. So that's something I need to figure out. And if you have any suggestions, if you know things that I could do to make it possible to do this while on the road, I'd appreciate those suggestions. Please put them in the comments. If you don't know, but you know somebody who might, put their channel down below in the comments as well. And I will check them out because I am not afraid to learn from anybody. I don't claim to know everything, and I want to live my life as an eternal student because there's always something more to learn. So that's pretty much it for this week's edition of Knowledge Gumbo Conversations. If anything resonated with you, if something struck a nerve, please, like I said previously, comment below. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep dialogue open. If you haven't already, I humbly ask that you would join our Gumbo family by subscribing to the Knowledge Gumbo newsletter. which comes out every Friday morning. I think I know it would be a blessing to you, and it would increase your mind about all the successful Black women that are out there. Because I'm learning, because no one taught us. So I want to share this information, especially given the times that we're in where stuff is getting tossed out, thrown away, or hidden. People have to put it out there. I'm grateful for the other YouTubers and content creators who are also sharing Black history, because it means a lot. And as many times as we can repeat this information and it gets out, that people know it's there, it makes a difference. So again, I thank you. As I'm always saying, I appreciate one of the greatest gifts you could ever give me, which is the gift of your time. We will definitely see you, at least for the rest of the month, because we're not hitting the road until March. So give me some feedback and we'll definitely see you next week.
Yeah. Beat drops heavy, heartbeat steady, ready.
Check the mirror, see a queen in the reflection. No doubt, full steam, no signs of deflection. Crown on my curls, world in my palm. March to my beat,